Alright, what is good, ladies and gentlemen, is the Mass Ranker back again with another ranking, and today we are doing a ranking for all of the How to Train Your Dragon movie exclusive characters. And before we begin, I just want to just rant slightly for a second, because I did this entire recording, a good solid 20 minutes, talked about everything, I was happy with it, and the entire way, it's like I noticed for some reason I have like a chip that connects the microphone that I wear to the actual, like to my phone, to make sure that it's for, to connect the microphone to my phone so that it picks up the audio. And the chip was like, it was blinking the entire way through, which I was thinking, like, does that always do that? That seems like new. I'm wondering what the problem was. But I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to stop the recording in the middle. Let me just get through the recording, and then at the end we'll see what the issue is. And so I finished the recording. I'm wondering, why is this blinking? And so I notice, I go to take off my microphone, and I realize, oh, the microphone I forgot to put on. It was still in the case. And so I realized the blinking means that the microphone is not yet taken out of the case. It's like still in the case and it hasn't been taken out yet. So that was extremely annoying. So just 20 minutes wasted. I had a good solid recording going, and now I have to do the whole thing over again, which is just not that fun. But you know what? It's fine. It's a learning experience. Now anytime I have the mindset, I try to adopt the mindset at the very least of anytime you end up doing something that wastes your time and you're annoyed about it, at least think about the fact that you now know, if you know the reason why you ended up wasting time, you know what to do in the future to prevent that from happening. So yeah, I will. This isn't a matter, I mean, I guess it is a matter of wasting time. In the future, I will see the blinking and I will know, oh, my microphone is not taken, I didn't put my microphone on yet, so I cannot start the recording. Anyway, rant over, let us just begin. I guess I'm just gonna be saying everything I spoke for the last 20 minutes over again, so. Okay, let us just get into it, starting with Eret, son of Eret. I will give him B tier. I think that he was a good addition to the casting characters in the second film, going from a dragon trapper to a dragon hunter. Yeah, honestly, I'm not going to get... I may have gotten in depth with the last recording. I'm not going to get too much in depth because I just spoke about all these characters. So I will, however, the last recording I did side cell at the end, so this recording I will just do side cell as we go along because it's more fresh in my mind. So next we have Drago Bloodfist. Good, solid villain, has a good presence to him, although he is a bit of a one-trick pony in the second film, with the fact that every time he basically just controls the alpha dragon in order to do his bidding, and so he is not as good as Grimmel in the third film, where he's like a lot more cunning and a lot more strategic with how he goes about fighting Hiccup and all the Borkians and stuff. So I do like Grimmel better, but I do still think that Drago was a solid villain, so we're going to go B tier. Grimmel, I'm going to give him A tier. Great villain. I like him a lot in the beginning. I will say, though, my biggest problem with him is that he gets a bit too easily defeated at the end, where the whole plan of Hiccups is just that he's going to use the gliding suits in order to make it to the armada that Grimmel is at. And I'm thinking, okay, they don't have their dragons with them, and it's not like in the second film where Hiccup just, I guess Drago was so cocky, he just let Hiccup erase the mind control that was going on, that was affecting Toothless. So yeah, Grimmel just Hiccup just shows up, manages to topple Grimmel, and the dragons that weren't completely caged up yet managed to start revolting and stuff, and that leads to the battle ensuing. And so it felt a bit, it felt too easy, honestly. Like it felt like Grimmel shouldn't have been taken down so easily. And even so, I think that they could have redeemed it with maybe Grimmel really getting into the whole aspect of like him in his like hunting mode, where he mentioned earlier in the film how it's like this is the most fun he's had in years from hunting Toothless basically. So I think maybe if they just leaned into that aspect a bit more, we're showing like how he's having fun battling Hiccup. I thought that could have been a bit better, but they didn't really lean into that aspect of his character. So overall, still a good A tier character, my favorite villain from the franchise. However, definitely a bit of a disappointment towards the end there, I will say. The three warlords, I don't care for them. I don't really know why I included them. They are like prominent enough where I felt like including them, but yeah, they just are the ones that ended up hiring Grimmel. And this one I think specifically has like, or maybe it was this one, I'm not sure, but one of them has like is a descendant of like Genghis Khan, so I guess that's a cool little fun fact. Anyway, next is the Bewilder Beast. The Bewilder Beast, I will give them, both of them, I include both for some reason. One is evil, one is not. I don't really, they're both about the same. We'll do the good one above the evil one, I guess, because he's morally better. But yeah, they are both, their action sequences, like they don't have too much movement or anything because they are so massive. However, it is cool, like anytime that they are using their ice breath, basically, that is a very cool attack that they have. And they do feel like an imposing threat that anytime it's like Drago summons like his Bewilder Beast to attack it, like does feel like, okay, like you're pretty screwed if you're about to get attacked by one. So Next is Gobber. Gobber, I'm going to put him above Grimmel. He is just very good. A lot of entertaining scenes with him, whether he's talking with Stoic, whether he's talking with Hiccup. He has, just a lot of good comedic lines, I would say. And he's also got, like, some pretty deep lines as well. So, especially, like, specifically when he's giving the eulogy for Stoic in the second film, I think that he is definitely a solid A tier. I'm going to give him, and yeah. Astrid, I'm going to say she was better than Grimmel, but I do think that, no, I think she's good. She's definitely a very solid character. At the beginning, she is kind of has like a rivalry going on with, she's jealous of Hiccup, and then she realizes the truth about dragons, so she ends up supporting Hiccup, and then, yeah, she's basically the love interest of Hiccup, and then it culminates in the final film, they get married, and the entire way through, she's just always like a supporting character of Hiccup, just kind of helping him get through these difficult situations that he has to face. And yeah, she's like a source of inspiration of Hiccup to, I guess, keep on going. Or she's the one, like, her, or in the second film, I guess it's Hiccup's mother, but she gives him pep talks to keep him going. And just my favorite probably out of all the teenage Vikings, I would say. And yeah, so solid A for Astrid. Fishlegs, don't really care for him too much in contrast, out of all the Viking teenagers, he's my least favorite, I would say. He doesn't really do anything in any of the films except maybe sometimes giving some trivia about, like, dragon classes or something like that, about their stats or whatever. It is not that entertaining, I would say, so I'm just going to give him C tier. Hiccup, I would give him probably not as good as Gobber, but I do think he's definitely a solid protagonist for the franchise. In the first film, the arc of him going from wanting to be respected by the town, and then him finding a greater purpose, which is to bring about peace between humans and dragons, which does lead into the second film, where he tries to do that with Drago. Doesn't end up working out. Gets into a fight with Toothless, has to, like, snap Toothless out of the brainwashing. I think that was a fantastic sequence as well. The reunion with his mother, the relationships he has is great with his mother, with his father, with Astrid, with Toothless himself. Just a very good, solid protagonist that I will give A tier. The Death Grippers, I think that's their names. They are they're the dragons of. By the way, I forgot to give this F tier. Yeah. I'm not necessarily saying that they're F tier, but I'm not necessarily saying that they're D tier either. So I'm just D/F tier as usual. The Death Grippers, I will give them probably C tier. I do like the acid, I guess, but besides that one aspect of they're like basically scorpions. They have, like, venom that Grimmel uses on them. Like, their own venom is used against them in order to make it so that they only obey Grimmel, and so that's the reason they don't listen to Toothless, who is the alpha. So I don't really care for them. Again, the venom aspect of them is cool, but just, not really that interesting. Cloudhopper, I will give Cloudhopper, we'll go top of C tier. I think the dragon of Valka is, she cool dragon, I guess, pretty large, imposing, got the 4 wings and stuff. Not really much to say about him, just, I don't know, he's in a lot of sequences. Like, the intro sequence with Valka I thought was very good, and he is always part of those sequences whenever Valka is wearing her, like, warrior outfit and mask. I think that's pretty cool, so C tier for that. The baby dragons, I will give them probably, we'll go, like, B tier. I think B tier above the Bewildered Beast. I do just like the one scene with the babies where in the second film, when all the dragons are being controlled by the alpha, they need, like, Hiccup and his friends, they need a way to get back to Berk, so they end up using the baby dragons because they don't listen to the alpha, and so I thought that was a good funny scene, so we're going B tier for that. This is Gobber's dragon, which I would give probably, I'm going to say, I don't know, I'll go, like, I forgot what I gave him in the first recording, but I'll go, like, D/F tier. The whole joke is that basically anytime Gobber goes in for a hug with his dragon, it's like the dragon just topples topples him, basically, and that's the joke. Not that funny, don't really care for him too much. Skull Crusher, I'm going to give him probably top of D/F tier. A dragon that's, I guess, important in the sense that, like, he is kind of a mantle that gets passed on to Eret after Stoic himself dies. He is the dragon of Stoic, and then, Stoic dies, and so Eret ends up inheriting him, kind of, so. But yeah, just another dragon I don't really care for. Stormfly, I'm going to give Stormfly probably, I don't know, the dragons in general, like the Viking, I don't know, most of the dragons like certain dragons I do like, but just a lot of the dragons just don't really do too much. Stormfly, I guess, is Astrid's dragon, but Stormfly herself doesn't really do too much, except for, like, in the first film, I'm pretty sure Stormfly has this aspect where she's able to shoot off horns or, like, need spikes, whatever, from her body, but then it's like that ability, from what I remember, is never really used again. So yeah, the only time Stormfly is just a form of transportation for Astrid, and so she doesn't really have any cool aspects like some of the other dragons that I'm going to rank higher do, so just C tier, I don't really care for too much. And well, with C tier, we'll go, like, above. I do like the design. The design, we'll give her top C tier for the design. Okay, the hideous Zippleback, I will give this one A tier. I really like the aspect of that one dragon head lets off this gas, and then the other one is able to ignite the gas. I think that that is a very cool dragon ability to have. So cool that it actually inspires Hiccup's weaponry, where he has this sword that he's able to light on fire and release the same type of gas that is able to be ignited. So I think that it is a very cool ability, and for that reason we are going A tier. Next is the Monstrous Nightmare, which I will give A tier, and I'm going to below the Hideous Zippleback, but I do think that, yeah, the Monstrous Nightmare, very cool design. I really like the aspect that it's able to light itself on fire. I think that that is very cool, and yeah, just for that, honestly, that is the reason I'm giving it A tier. Yeah, these dragons, they rank highly purely for like their cool abilities that they have. In contrast, this one, this is Meatlug, Fish Legs Dragon. I don't care for him really. We'll put him like right next to Fish Leg. Just, I don't know, out of all the dragons of the Vikings, like similar to the fact that Fish Leg is the one that I care for the least out of all the Viking teenagers, so is Dragon I also care for the least, I would say. Just not really that cool, and no cool aspects about him. Just, yeah. The Light Fury, I will go probably, I don't know, I don't care for her too much. I'm just going to go like top of C tier. She's pretty important in the third film. The whole aspect is that like she's not working for Grimmel, but Grimmel sends her to, Grimmel lets her go in order to, because he knows that she will end up going the same way that Toothless goes, and then from there Toothless will get distracted, which will make him easier prey to hunt, basically. So yeah, the whole thing is that like Toothless likes her and he tries to like win her over through like interpretive dancing or whatever, and then from there, yeah, they kind of like bond through, I don't know, flying and stuff. Eventually they make it to the hidden world, and eventually like they fall in love basically, and yeah, fine love interest for Toothless, but I just don't really care for her other than that. So okay, we'll do the twins together. The twins, I would give them both probably B tier, and we'll go B tier above the Bewilder Beast. And I do like Tough Nut a bit better than Rough Nut, just for the fact that, I like Eric better, I would say, but I like Tough Nut a bit better just for the fact that in the third film, all the marriage advice he's giving to Hiccup, I thought that was pretty funny, I would say. Rough Nut, her whole thing is that it's usually just something with her and boys like either Eretz or Fish Legs or Snotloud in the second film. In the first film, I don't know, they just kind of fight, which is entertaining, I guess. And in the third film, she's just so stupid that she ends up getting freed by Grimmel because he knows that she'll lead him to where the rest of the Borkians are. So yeah, they're fine. Their B tier is somewhat entertaining. Snotloud, I would give Snotloud probably, I don't really care for him. I'm going to give him like, we'll go top of C tier. He is, I like Jonah Hill's performance, but I don't know, out of all of Jonah Hill's performance, this is one of the weaker ones, I would say. Just his character, I don't know, the first film he's trying to win over Astrid, the second film I don't remember what he does at all. In the third film, he is like, for some reason, trying to impress Hiccup's mother to show that I think he can be like the next chief of the village or whatever. So yeah, I don't really care for him too much, so just top of C tier. Stoic, favorite character, yeah, definitely. I think he has the best emotional moments with Valka. The sacrifice he makes ultimately, the battle with Drago, the character arc that he goes in the first film of going from hating dragons to realizing that they're not so bad and stuff. The actual relationship he has with Hiccup, I think, is very good. I think Gerard Butler does a great job voicing the character, and just overall, he is my favorite character, I think, from the franchise. And yeah, solid top of A tier character. Toothless, we will go probably, I think, above Grimmel, and I'd say above Astrid too as well. I think I don't remember what I gave him the first time around, but I would give him probably, yeah, I would say that I think that's good. I think that he is definitely probably the best dragon in the franchise, being being Hiccup's dragon and all. The bonds that he grows, him and Hiccup form in the first film, I think is fantastic. The second film, where he ends up like getting brainwashed, and then ultimately Hiccup has to like snap him out of the brainwashing, I think that was good as well. Yeah, just overall the relationship that he has with Hiccup is very solid. He's got some cool action sequences here and there. In the third film, he's got the love interest stuff, which I think is less interesting, but overall still, I think that he is a solid A tier character, so yeah. And then finally, Valka. Valka, I'm going to give her probably, I think Valka, was she better than Hiccup? I don't remember where I gave her the first time around. I'm going to put her a bit below Hiccup. I think that she is great in the second film, very, very good. In the third film, she's not really doing as much. She is just kind of doing some reconnaissance on Grimmel's fleet. And I was wondering, I thought like she was going to get captured, and I'm kind of happy they didn't, because I thought that, okay, this is going to be like this feels a bit generic, where it's like she gets captured and then she's like a hostage, I guess, for a situation. I don't know, sometimes it's like I always feel like, okay, you're the character that's doing reconnaissance, obviously they're going to get captured or whatever, but they didn't actually have her captured in this case, so I was actually pleasantly surprised because it just, subverted my expectations, I guess, a bit. So yeah, she's fine in the third film, but she's very good in the second film, the reunion with Stoic, the reunion with Hiccup. I think the intro sequence with her alone is just like one of the best that there is in, honestly, ever. Just like one of the best intro sequences. Very cool. Just like Hiccup is riding in the clouds and then all of a sudden she appears and like her get up and stuff. I think that is very fire. So yeah, that is my tier list for all of the How to Train Your Dragon's characters, not like from the spin-offs or whatever, but movie exclusive characters. I don't know if I'll put that in the title. If I do, then you'll see it by now, unless I changed it after the fact. So yeah, that is pretty much all there is to it. So if you have any recommendations, any shows, movies, video game stories, anime, manga, web series, anything that you want me to review or rank or compare rankings, it does not have to be media related. It could be anything. Leave it in the comments and I will maybe possibly check it out. With that said, that is pretty much all there is to it. So let's leave it at that.